Just watching this video by Action Lab, but it's this comment that I thought was really important here. So Asimov's 3 laws, actually he said it back in the video here. Those laws, you've most likely heard them before. Basically a robot shouldn't harm a human and so on. But, like this guy said, they weren't really created as an example of how to ensure robot safety, and this is my point on this video. I don't think we can. It's a matter of different perspective. Your perspective is different to another person, so often you don't agree, correct? You may think blue is not a good colour. I might think that blue is the best colour. Our perspective and opinion is differing. That's exactly going to be the case between the robots, who are made of metal and code and just completely not the same as a human, right? No matter how much we try to code that or make them appear on the outside as humans, or let them research us, it's still not us, right? It's still not going to be you or me, who are individuals especially. And that's my point here. I think it's inevitable that it's disastrous for humans, and that the robots are a necessarily created replacement, and that's part of the higher plan of this universe. And like I've said, that's because this place is a machine. The universe is a machine. You're inside the Matrix, which is a machine. That's why these organic portals act so robotically and mechanically. And spirited humans move so much different. We move so much and think so much different to them, right? So much more fluidly. And we can talk about that in another video. I'm going to have to, I'm sure, to help get to the core of the difference between us versus them. But it's as big as the difference between robots versus them, even, or us, or anyone. And as this universe, becomes more of what it is, which is happening through time, as time goes on, this place becomes more of itself. It manifests into more of its essence. And I've said that before, and that's why the robots are going to supersede us, so to speak, or take over. It's like also another way to explain it, also visible in the planet feeling the temporal extinction of the star, realizing that the star it's revolving around is not going to last forever, and it needs a plan, and that the human body is not capable of resisting the space radiation, and robots might well be. You see what I mean? Anyway, so it's time to come to terms with all biological life ending. That's one reason I say that it does not make sense to be vegan for the animals. That's a great, well-wishing thought, but it doesn't make sense in the long run. And not even the long run. You're going to see that, during the 7th mass extinction, here during the apocalypse at the end of human history. It's also a biological addendum. At one point RNA was there, but then DNA has kind of superseded it. You know what I mean? Once the slime mold, who created the atmosphere, was the leading edge, the cutting edge of creation. See what I mean? And humans have existed for such a short period. We are some kind of intermediate being. I think that's very obvious. The robots would last much longer. The dinosaurs did last much longer, and we are so infinitesimal. So it's interesting that this is why I'm going to study the human ego much more, because it's very interesting. And our time of habituality of just a short 11,000 year period of just habituality and calm, which has allowed us to make civilization and everything, right? And I have a feeling that it's not going to remain like that for the rest of the time on this planet. Anyway. Yeah, so keep reading this, and it's the laws, they were written not to just ensure robot safety, they were written as an example of how a naive, and that's my point here, a naive set of rules could lead to catastrophic issues. And I think that's clearly the case when humans are, creating their own death via robotics. It starts off as, what's that called? Uncanny Valley. Have you guys heard of the concept of Uncanny Valley? It's that, as these robots become more human looking and acting and so forth, we feel a kinship with them and like it. But then it takes and it's positive, upward ascent. But then there's a strong descent, very sharp turn when they become almost unrecognizably human, and it becomes like too scary, and then we want to destroy them. And I think that point will inevitably come, obviously, as well, because it's predictable. It's so obviously predictable. It has to happen. And prediction is going to be our best asset in our longevity in the context of against the robots. It's our best weapon, really. Anyway, so Asimov's stories involving robots generally had things going horribly wrong, despite, or even as direct as a result of, the 3 laws of the robotics there. And the point about how hard it is to define harm, this is just taking a back step to what I was just saying, but still on the same line of thinking, is especially important because, for example, as this guy writes, if a robot believes that a surgeon is causing harm by opening a patient's chest as part of a life-saving operation, then it may make an attempt to prevent the surgeon from performing the surgery. And then that could, ultimately kill the patient, for instance. So, this is so tricky. There's no way some, set of naive laws are going to prevent the inevitable. You see, that's my point. I think I might call the video that. Actually, that's a perfect title for the video, right? Or if it believes that locking someone permanently in their home would prevent harm, then that person may become the robot's prisoner for life. I think that is possibly the best thing he could have written, this person. Read that again, because I think that's going to become the case on Prison Planet. There's going to be robots that can tear your arm out of the socket, right? Terminator robots, for sure. Mechas, but just think about it. The mechanical forces are going to be stronger than your muscle connections on your arm socket. It's very simple. So if the robot believes that locking someone permanently in their home would prevent harm, then that person may become the robot's prisoner for life. Take that on a planetary scale.